Next question.
Next question. Okay, so Hansa Iqbal, sorry if I pronounce your name badly, sir, asked, BitBoy discussed on Chris' channel that he held 8% Ethereum and 5% Bitcoin for the currently, and the rest is allocated into a bunch of altcoins. What's your take on risking that much of your Ethereum and Bitcoin for the alt season?
It's fine. Ethereum. I think if you're gonna go into any asset more than 5%, I think Ethereum would be it, because it's not going anywhere. It's pretty strong. I would consider it as strong as Bitcoin is, and that you won't. Although there is more risk, right? It is just as strong as just slightly less stronger than Bitcoin. But it's basically what Bitcoin was in the 2017 bubble. So, was it a risky buy back then? No, right? Bitcoin? No. So, I think Bitcoin's a lot stronger, right? Because it's had more time in the oven, and just more time in the oven. Ethereum will be just as strong, right? So, I think you're good. You're good with Ethereum. Now, I'm sure there's going to be other coins that come out that are solid, but I think here's the thing. For example, Binance Coin is a close third, right? To Ethereum, close third, right? The problem is that Binance is tied to a company success. So you have it's a little bit of a greater risk with Binance Coin than you have with Ethereum, right? So that's the problem. But it's all about a risk level, right? So your risk tolerance. When you see okay, when we talk about before Bitcoin, right? You always assumed that the zero risk was $1, right? The next risk down level was bonds. The next risk level was then stocks or something like that, right? But you'd always have different levels of risk, right? Well, so same with that's what we're seeing now. Bitcoin is the currency risk, which gives you zero risk. The Bitcoin is the high. Then Ethereum, right, which is contract-based risk, right? It's sort of like bonds, but really it's a machine, a global machine, right? And so global machines, right, can break down because if a mistake is done in the coding, things could break down because it's a lot more complicated system. And now you have like the Binance. The risk with Binance is it's a company, right? So, yeah, you're always going to go further down the pipe, whilst Bitcoin is the lowest risk asset. All right.
Here, Hamza Iqbal said that what he meant is that 85% of the portfolio is allocated on other coins rather than Bitcoin and Ethereum. What is your take on that?
My take on that?
Yes.
It's really simple. I could just show you my take on that.
There you go.
I can show you my take on that. I think that I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, that should be more than enough. Okay, so Sharkboy Recordings ask, what decides the end of a bull run?
What decides the end of the bull run? Well, a lot of things. Basically, you have to detect what one is everyone and their mother in this thing, right? That's really hard to see, right? So, because people would say that right now, right? But that's not the case.
Right? It's not?
No.
Even my grandmother is talking about Bitcoin.
Yes, but does she have any?
Good point.
Exactly. My personal assistant, right, that I just hired. She's talking about Bitcoin. She's all into Bitcoin now. But does she have any? right? So the difference is none of these people have any. So I think it's really easy for the average person to figure it out, right? Just go to Starbucks and sit down and listen to the conversations. If it's only crypto, we're close to the top, right? But that's not the only indication, of course, right? You just know that you're close. You're not there yet, because things can go a lot longer for longer than you think, right? So the best way that I find is that when CNBC and CNN are like showing you how to buy assets and pointing out that this is the asset you have to buy when it's like gone thermonuclear, when it's done like something like this. Here, let me just show you. When it's done something like this, right? Can you imagine? It's like this. The price is where is it? Oh man, I thought I had it up. Where is it? Let's bring it up. Like this coin, right? That I just sold some on, right? It's done something like this, but even worse, right? So it's like something, it's like way up here, right? It's way up here in like nosebleed territories, right? And there's no charts anywhere else. There's no candles, and they're telling you to buy. Don't you think that might be a sign that maybe you shouldn't? Right? That maybe that's the top, right? When it's like absolutely like you take out, you zoom out, and you're like, what the hell? And they're showing you a log chart on CNBC, right? So that they can hide the fact that, hey, you know what, this thing has gone like so parabolic. Then something ain't right. Then there's always the fundamental issues, right? Once there's a fundamental event, this is a key one. This one always works, I've noticed. When there's a huge fundamental event that everyone says, oh my God, when this happens, it's going to explode. And it's already exploded. Right? So, for example, what happens if Bitcoin's at 1.2 million and then it goes from 600,000 to 1.2 million in about a month, right? And at the end of that month, right, they're going to release the ETF. Do you think that's a positive event? That it's going to double again?
No!
Most people do. But that's not going to happen. Right? Most people think that's going to double. It's going to double again at that point. But that's the absolute. That is a guaranteed win for you. To marking the top. Once you see that's a 100% marker. And I know it's hard to believe, but it does work. I wanted to say, in 2017, I wanted to say, the top's going to be as soon as what's it called, the CME futures, the Crimex starts listing Bitcoin, and it was that day to the day. They listed it, and then that was the top. Boom, straight down from there, no more.
So it is a buy the rumor, sell the news kind of conversation?
Yep, it is. But so you have to watch out for that. That's the key thing. Especially if we can find something for what was it called, altcoins. If there's somebody, if the if the New York Stock Exchange comes and says, hey, you know what, we're going to allow you to buy all the different alts instead of going to these funky exchanges like Binance and Bittrex, you're gonna come to us, the professionals. We're gonna do that just for you. That is going to be the biggest, absolute, monstrous, huge signal to sell.